Michael Lynch reporting here with Corporal Woody Williams. So, Corporal, how did you get involved with the Marines?
Well, after the war started, 1941, I was 17 years old. I reached at 17, my mother, who was a widow, would not sign for me to go in early. At 17, she had to have parent consent, and she would give it. But she needed me on the farm. She said, I can't let you go. When I reached 18, then I became a man. I would become a man at 18, so then I could go on my own. I went in the Marine Corps to enlist, and I did that on the basis of two individuals from our community, farm community, that couldn't find a job during the Depression, so they went into the Marine Corps to make a living. And when they would come home on their furlough, they would be in their Marine vest blues, shorts, white, tall. And I guess somewhere I decided if I ever go in the military, that's what I want to be. So far as I was concerned, there wasn't any other military. Marines were all I knew. So when I went in to enlist after my 18th birthday, I filled out the paper, handed it to the Marine recruiter or whatever he was, and he just looked at me and said, "Sorry, we can't take you." And I said, "Why?" I mean, I'm a pretty hefty farm boy in those days. I still had muscle. And he said, "You're too short." They had a height requirement of 5'8" at that time. I was only 5'6". So I went on back home. Can't get in the Marine Corps, I'm not going to go anywhere. But as I said, that's about all I knew. I hadn't been around any other military. So early the next year, they took that height requirement off. But they needed a lot more people than I guess anticipated. So I went in then, a few months later, joined the Marine Corps. And I did that basically because those two fellows became a role model. There's something that I wanted to be like. I wanted to look like them. I wanted to do what they did. So that's what really enticed me going into the Marine Corps.
What was your most valuable memory while you were in service?
Well, as a country boy, bashful, shy. You wouldn't believe that now, but I really was. I'd get up before a group and I just couldn't do it. Absolutely. I was just a very shy, bashful country boy. And never dreaming that I would ever see a president of the United States of America. I knew a name, but that's all I knew, was just a name. And on the day, on October the 5th, 1945, when I walked up to him, face to face, close as I am to you, and he pinned this ribbon around my neck, it was the most memorable thing that has ever happened to me.
That's quite normal.
I was so frightened. My body would not stand still. I was just shaking utterly. So, I'll never forget that moment.
How has the Armed Forces shaped you as a person?
I'd never been in trouble when I was in the Marine Corps. And at home, we had discipline. We had to do what Mom said to do. So I had some form of discipline, knowing that I had to do what was right. But after I got into the Marine Corps, my whole outlook on life really changed. We were taught very specifically that you've got to be responsible for yourself, but you also have to be responsible for the guy on your right and the guy on your left. And that person needs to be the same way. Every Marine has to be responsible for somebody else. And that opened my eyes to how close people who are strangers have really very little in common can become closer than brothers and would be willing to die for each other. That changed my whole concept of life.
Thank you, Corporal. I appreciate your time.
All right. You're welcome. Good questions.